This is a very quick video on the advanced manufacturing game. The advanced manufacturing game, there's a new job aid. However, the new job aid only has one new transaction, ZMB1B. So I actually recommend keeping your extended job aid because you're familiar with it. Just remember that ZMB1B is there for logistics. That's the one and only difference on the job aid. It was the logistics transaction, ZMB1B. Strategies for this, well, really, everything you've learned so far, so what you did in the extended game so far, is still required. Everything from the sales forecast to change prices, if you're doing marketing, all of those things, everything is required. In addition, you have this push-pull inventory management, sending your finished goods to regional storage areas. I'm really leaving it up to you to explore this new transaction, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through everything. Really just building on what you've done in the extended game, but now looking at regional distribution. Your customers can only buy from a regional storage location, and it's up to you to figure out which regional location to send your finished goods to. So again, you must have, this is overall strategy, you must have the extended game down. If you're still struggling with trying to get your productivity up, trying to actually make a profit, a positive net income, you're going to have a very hard time with the advanced game. So realize that you need to get that in place before you go and start working on the logistics side. If that's in place, if you're comfortable with your abilities within the extended game, the next big strategy to think about is not locking yourself into a strategy. So if you find yourself sending a lot of finished goods to a regional storage location and it turns out that's not where you want it to go, well, you're going to be stuck a lot of stuff in that regional area. So I recommend starting small and working your way up as you figure out the regional areas and their preferences. You realize that preferences, just like the extended game, it's set at the beginning of the game. It changes every game, but it's at the beginning of the game it's set, and it does not change. So there's no need for you to be sending a lot of product to different regional locations, not knowing what to do. Build up into it. So if you're thinking this through a little bit as well, it may take a little while for you to actually receive positive net income. And in my experience, net income drops a bit in the advanced game compared to the extended game because you have to figure out that regional side. So keep that in mind. Within it, your net income may be a little lower. It may be a little slower to reach the level you're used to, a positive net income. But that's part of all of this, is figuring it out. You have to have enough data to figure out the right forecast to work with the regional locations. So again, start out small, plan 5 to 7 simulated days at a time, not an entire round. So be ready to make this change. Figuring out the preferences and where things are being sold, again, it's the sales reports. The detailed sales report is going to give you specific regional locations, and from there you can figure out preferences. The Z market report as well is going to tell you who's selling what and where. So spend some time looking at that. You can also get a little bit more out of your inventory report, the ZMB52 report. That's also going to tell you a bit because you can see where you're selling and where you're not. For the extended game, I recommend you don't watch the inventory report, but within the regional, you can kind of see it. If your stock continues to build up in a certain area, it's probably not selling. If you can't keep it in stock in a regional area, it certainly is selling. So it's a combination of a lot of different things. In addition, looking at the sales reports, look for untapped markets. Areas where people are not sending their goods or they haven't even started producing the product, and be ready to send it there, but also realize everyone's looking at these same reports. It's very important to be reading these reports. So you may have a battle in a regional area, and once that battle starts, what's your plan? You might go somewhere else. So there's a lot more strategy within the advanced game. Just do realize you're going to have to get a lot of information from a lot of different areas. ZMB1B, again, the one transaction that is different. It's adding in the logistics side of it. You cannot sell anything until you've sent it to your regional storage location. The supplemental text has a whole section on this that goes through the entire transaction, breaks it apart, all the different areas. It also talks kind of about some of the strategies and how it would fit into your sales forecast. So it's not the kind of thing you can just read that section, watch a video, and I know what I'm doing. it's really going to take some trial and error. So within this first game that we do within the advanced game, you'll probably start figuring out the transaction around round 2. Do realize within all the manufacturing game, extended and advanced, there's no such thing as set it and forget it. So your sales forecast, your ZMB1B settings, all of that you're going to be changing throughout. So within this first game, you'll probably figure out how to use it, and then it's next week that you'll really start to be able to work on your strategy. So that's it. Again, it builds off the extended manufacturing game. I am going to show you the transaction here, just in case. There we are. Just in case you, I don't know, want to see it. This is it. It is covered within the supplemental text as well. So do make sure that you read the logistics section of the supplemental text. So this is it. It's push-pull. It's a radio button. You can only have one. Scheduling, you can make it for anything. I recommend that unless it fits within your strategy, that you don't make it really small, like every day, or you don't make it too big, like every 10 days. Those are extremes. Somewhere between 3 and 5 days. Again, it all depends on your strategy. Each one of these, again, you can fill in. You can send in the product just to the north. You can send it just to the south. Do realize that this does not have any settings in it so that anyone can be in there at any time. It's not like some of the settings where, like VK32, the price change, where only one person can be in there at a time. This one, everyone can be in there, and it's whoever saved it last wins. This is definitely something you want just one person to be in, and also keep track of, if you're that one person, you don't have multiple screens of it open. So whatever you save in here, this is a lot like the marketing screen as far as it being regional. There's no way of setting this up as far as distribution channels. It's all regional. And again, hitting clear is going to reset it. And take a look at the logistics section within the supplemental text. It's going to end up giving you more information about how this fits into your sales forecast. Again, it's not giving you the answers, but it's going to give you things to think about when you're putting together your sales forecast and then also your logistics settings. So again, don't lock yourself into a strategy. Start small, work up as you learn more about the simulation, but then also watch what happens. There is no set it and forget it. You might find something that works in round 2, but it's not going to work in round 3. So keep all of that in mind. And it's trial and error at this point. Don't be surprised if the first game you're kind of lost. But do realize everything from the extended game is there. Everything in the extended game does fit through. So don't feel like you and your entire team need to be focusing on ZMB1B. Everything you focused on in the extended manufacturing game still has to take place, and then one person has to figure out the settings for this logistics part of it.